Capital is key in realizing that business vision. I know you may have heard some people say, maybe including me, to say money should not be a hindrance in starting a business. That is true. Money should not be a hindrance. You do not have to have a burst of money or even large sum of money to start a business. But at one point in time, you will need money. It can be difficult, yes. The truth is, one thing I've noticed is that everything in life can be difficult if you do not know how to do it. Do you believe that? Let me check what could be something that could appear so simple, but if you do not know how to, okay, let me say, if you do not know how to put on this projector, it could become a nightmare. You could battle with it for 30 minutes without knowing how to put it on. True of us. True. But if you know how to put it, then it is not a challenge. So the truth about it is, raising business capital can be difficult. It can be frustrating if you do not know how to go about it. But one thing I've noticed is that business capital is not scarce. It is the know-how to access business capital that is scarce. As we speak, there are billions of dollars available for people to access. But you can only access it if you know how to access it. Like my friend, they told to say you are not qualified. Yes, there's money, but they said you are not qualified. So what do? You find a way of qualifying yourself. So in the few minutes or hours we are going to spend, depending on you and our program, we'll be able to try to see what are these options we have to raise money and what are the secrets. How do we go about it so that we can gain success? One other fact which I've noticed is that most of the big businesses you have today, we are not started by the money of the owners. They were started by other people's money, which we abbreviate to OPM, other people's money. Most businesses today, including Dangote, who is the richest man in Africa today, we know the story. He started his business with other people's money, which is his uncle's money. Some other ones, I know the history about them. I know about a little about history of Facebook. It started with other people's money. I know a little about Diamond Bank. It started with other people's money. And many of them we talk about. So that you don't have that money in your pocket should not be a hindrance to you. You can start your business with other people's money. But before we progress, there is some background I just want us to quickly go through. Because the stage at which your business is, it actually impacts the ease with which you can raise business capital. Most businesses go through 4 stages, which coincidentally, sometimes I can merge it with the stages of human growth. The first stage your business can be is incubation stage. This is the stage where it is still, to a large extent, an idea. You have not started selling anything. If you have produced, it's only a model. Maybe you have produced a model of your business. You still have your business in your head, or you have it in your laptop, or you have it in a paper. You have not produced something. Let's say you want to produce water. You have not produced any water and sold it. Maybe you have produced one in your house. I remember when my wife's business was in the incubation stage. She used to make cake for us, and she makes cake, we eat it, and we don't pay her. So at that time, it was only in the incubation stage because the product has not gone to the market. So whatever you're doing, even if you have produced but nobody has bought it, your business is still at the incubation stage. For me, I liken it to pregnancy. A child is still in the mother's womb. The child has not seen the light of the day. Now from there, it goes to the next stage, which we call startup. At this stage, the business is already live. The business has started producing. It has been validated. Your business is validated when you have produced something and you have sold. Okay, sorry, what business are you into?
Sales and marketing.
You're in sales and marketing. Yeah. Okay, at the time when somebody has patronized your business, you understand? We say your business has been validated. Let's say you produce this water. If you produce this water, nobody has bought it, you have not been able to sell one. Do you understand? That business has not been validated. But the day you take it to market and somebody gives you 100 naira or 200 naira and collect this bottle of water, then that business has been validated. Now that business is in the startup stage. In the startup stage, most of the time there is a low patronage because the business is not yet known. When the people see the product, assuming you start producing water today, maybe Marsin bottled water. If you see Nestle water, you know about it. If you see that, I say, which one is Marsin water? Even if it's better than Nestle water, you'll be having double mind whether to buy it. It's still at the startup stage. And at that time, funding is critical because you need, for sometimes you may be putting more money than you're getting. From there, your business will go into the growth stage. Now, the growth stage is where your business has started getting traction. People have started knowing your product. You have started having customers. People have started placing order for your business. Now that your business is in the growth stage, it's like it's increasing. It's also another stage where you need to carefully manage your business to get it established. Now from there, it will go to the mature stage, which for me, the startup stage is like a fancy. And just like in human beings, children are very fragile. You need to handle infants very well. You need to make sure that we're covered and those things and whatever. Now, the growth stage is like teenagers or the youth. That time they're growing very much. There are so many changes happening. It's just another stage where you need to manage well. Then the mature stage is like adult stage. That time things have stabilized. Do you understand? People have known the market. You already have your established lines of business, suppliers and all those things and whatever. You are not really growing, but you're not coming down. You just need to maintain things. Now, why is it important to our funding discussion today? The stage at which your business is important in how you raise money. That will also determine the type of funders you will go to. There are funders that will not fund business at the incubation stage. There are ones that will not fund business at the startup stage. There are ones that will not fund business even in growing stage. Most funders will prefer businesses in mature stage. So the higher you go, the easier it is for you to raise funding. So sometimes you may want to move your business to the next stage to be able to increase your chances of getting funds. So let's quickly now go to, before we explore options for raising funds, let's quickly look at some foundations that will help you to attract funding. Now, for me, I prefer to use that term, attracting funding, because business funding is like a bride. There's a way a lady will package herself and she will attract the right suitors. What if a lady today is desperate about getting married and she's pursuing the young men will do what? The young men will do what? I see some young men here. Say what we do now. What will you do? If a lady is just going after you now, no matter how beautiful she is, the chances are that she will take off. But she can package herself the way she will attract suitors. So there's a way you package your business that you attract funding. Instead of pursuing funding, if you are pursuing the funding, in fact, the funding will run away. So we are going to look at 7 things you need to do that will help you, just like a beautiful bride, attract funders. First, you need to have a viable business idea. 2, you need to be clear on what you need funds for. If you need funds to rent a shop, you need to be clear about it. If you need it to buy machinery, you need to be clear about it. If you need it to buy stock, you need to be clear about it. So when you go to your funders, you're clear on what you need money for. You won't just go to, even if you're uncle, to say, uncle, I need 500,000 to start business. And you're not telling him what you need. That money, actually, this business you're starting, what exactly are you doing with it? You need to have a written business plan. The first one is a business idea, but you now need to go to business plan, where you have the details, your mission statement, your vision, the organizational structure, your operational strategies, your marketing strategies, and the rest of them. That is your business plan. Number 4, you need to determine how much you need. How much you need. It's different from how much you want. This business you're doing, how much exactly do you need? Number 5, what exactly will the funds be used for? Now you know how much you need. You say, hey, I need 5 million. This 5 million, what exactly will it be used for? Are you using it to buy raw materials? Or are you using it to employ staff? What exactly are you using these things for? Number 6, make your expectations reasonable. Make your expectations reasonable. Now, if you are starting business today, and depending on the type of contacts you have, you don't just come up and say, hey, I want 10 million naira. Maybe when you have not started anything. Maybe when you have not handled 1 million before. Or you said you want 100 million when you have not handled 10 million before. And depending also on the type of business you're doing. So it has to be reasonable. Funding is progressive. What do you mean by funding is progressive? Now, it's easier for me to meet Mr. Eugene today and say, there's this business I'm starting. Help me with 100,000 naira. See, I've bought some clothing material. I just needed to pay the balance, and he gives me the 100,000 naira. And after 2 weeks, I pay him back. Then, if I come back another time and say, please give me 200,000, the chances are more that he will give me. You see, he gives me 200,000, I put the 200,000 and turn it around, and I come back again and ask for 500,000. I still put it in, turn it around, pay him back. Next time I ask for 2 million. It's easier for him to give me than my going first and saying, bro, I need 2 million. The same thing with banks. There are something they call first-time borrower. If you're a first-time borrower, they are more skeptical. But if you come the first time, maybe you borrow 500,000, another time you borrow 1 million and you pay back, you have it clean, whatever, you borrow 2 million, you pay back, you borrow 5 million, you pay back. It is progressive. That's how you move on until one day you can borrow 1 billion and they will give you because you have progressed. So that's why we say make your expectations reasonable and then progress from there. Number 7, we are talking about foundations for attracting business capital. Number 7 is prepare your mind. You see, your mind set is critical. In fact, not just only in funding, in most things you do in life. If you want to change the reality of your life, you need to change your mind, your mindset. First, prepare your mind to know that some people you approach will say no. That, like my friend said, he applied for a loan, they said no. It is not it's not a roadblock. It's only a bend. What essentially he would have done is to ask himself, why did they say no? So what do I do to overcome it? Like our other friend who approached the uncle, and the uncle to say, hey, I have so many things to do. No, it's not a roadblock. To say, okay, my uncle has said no. That means the road has ended. No, he has said no. You now ask yourself, why did he say no? And you repackage and come back. So what are we saying? Your mindset, when you know that some people you will ask will say no, when they say no, it will not put you off. You know, people get disappointed because of expectation, depending on what your expectation is. If I'm coming to you to ask for something and I know that you may say no, when you say no, I won't be surprised. So when you're going to ask for business capital, either as loan or grant or whatever, prepare your mind that the person might say no. So when the person says no, it doesn't put you into depression. Even if it's your brother. Do you understand? They can say no. But when they say no, know it, ask yourself. Put it in a win or learn situation. If you win, good. If you didn't win, what did I learn? Why did he say no? So when you go back, you know what to say. The next thing I've mentioned it before, have a mindset that capital is not scarce. You know, capital for business is not really scarce. If you have the time, I will be able to give you some figures about funds that are available for people to access. So business funding is not scarce. What is scarce is the knowledge to get it. So when you have that mindset that is scarce, you just easily give up. But when you know that it's not scarce, you keep pressing till you get it. Now, another important thing you need to know in mindset is that that's why I had to take you through the strategies. The more traction you gain in your business, the more attractive your business becomes. If your business is still in the incubation stage, many people, especially in something like banks, will not want to fund you. But the more traction, the more structures you build, the more traction you get, the more chances it is that you get funding. So we are going to quickly look at 14 options you can use to raise money. There are far more options than this, but I decided to choose 14. There are more options you can use. So we just quickly go through some of them. I try to be fast, but if I'm moving too fast, you can draw me back with your questions. Number 1, bootstrapping. What is bootstrapping in raising funding? It's just like maybe trying to do it yourself type of strategy. You're just trying to press it up. And as a matter of fact, I will always recommend people to start with this. Now we are talking about 14 options. It doesn't mean you just choose one and say this is the only one I use. You can actually combine different of the options as we see as we go along. But bootstrapping is key and it's a good one to start with. Why is it key? It can help you most times move from incubation to startup. But as a matter of fact, most people will not want to fund you in incubation when the business has not seen the light of the day, when it's still in your head or on the book or in your laptop. So you can use bootstrapping, which involves using maybe your little savings to do it. Trying to do it, maybe starting off from your house. Instead of thinking of renting an office space, instead of thinking of renting a warehouse, you start from your parlor or from your bedroom, start whatever you're doing, use the little savings you have, maybe start the business online. Those little things that will help you to kickstart and test up the business. And some other strategies you can use is using some form of a partnership, getting some people to work for you for a reward. That why exactly I mean is now you're starting a business. You need an accountant, but you know at that stage you can't pay an accountant, or you need an office manager you cannot pay. You call somebody you know that can do it. Say, okay, Pali, you know what happens? Come, let's do this business. Come and do this thing for me. At the end of the month or at the end of the 2 months, when we produce this first tranche of products, when we sell, I will give you part of it. Or when we bring in these goods, you will help me to sell. If you sell, I will give you parts of the rewards. So it has helped you to bootstrap, though you don't have the physical cash, but you have been able to get even some people to work for you. You have been able to raise some money to start up. Number 2, family and friends. Yeah, a number of times people have a lot of reasons, a lot of excuses, disappointments about their brothers not helping them or their uncles not helping them or even their parents not helping them. But it's still one very viable option to raise business capital, especially when your business is also still at that early stage. Why? Where banks may not trust you to say this thing you're going to do will succeed, your friends and family are more likely to trust you. If today I said, okay, hey, I want to start a clothing line or a bottled water company, there are some friends I can talk, not just based on how wonderful the business idea is. They may weigh me and say, I know him. Let's give it a trial. Because they are my friends, the chances are more that they may stake in my business more than the bank, more than some other funding organization. So what are we saying? Family and friends is one area you can start with. Now we have talked about you can use bootstrapping to move your business from incubation to startup. You can use family and friends to move it from startup to the growing stage. Dangote we talk about today is one of those businesses we know that started with family and friends. The story has it that his uncle, Dan Tata, gave him 500,000 naira to start a business. So many other businesses have started in that way. Number 3 option, vendor or supplier funding. Vendor or supplier funding is one of the critical way you can fund your business. This is a situation where your suppliers give you goods on credit and you pay them when you have made sales or after some time. It's a very viable way of starting or growing your business. Like I've said, now most people will not fund you when you're in your incubation stage. If you just come up today and say, okay, sorry, what's your business name? Event management. Okay, let's say if you have not done event before and you just maybe meet people that rent chairs and say, give me, you see, I have event, give me chairs, I will pay you when I finish. The chances are that they will have double mind. But you find out that if you have started doing that business, you have already made some contacts. Maybe you have done events where you needed 100 chairs, 200 chairs. Now you now get an event where you need 500 or 1,000 chairs and you don't have the money to pay cash. You can go to that guy that gives you chairs and say, give me chairs. After the event, I will pay you. Will the person actually agree? Yeah, he will agree. So what have you done? You have used vendor funding. Now, if you don't have a shop and you go to someone and say, hey, supply me 10 bags of or 1,000 bags of cement. When I finish selling, I'll give you the money. The chances are that the person may not give you. But assuming you already have a shop where they sell cement, and you meet those people that sell cement and say, okay, supply me, I'll pay you next month. The chances are they will agree with you. I don't know if you're getting the traction. So that we are saying is, after you have bootstrapped, after you have been able to move to the second stage of startup or the growing stage, it's easier to get more options of funding. One of them is vendor funding. Stories have it that places like scarce, which has become quite big now, started with such funding options where the likes of BMW, Land Rover, and all those things supply him cars and he sells and remits the money to them. Number 4 option for sourcing business capital is customer funding. You can actually fund your business from your customers. But this normally works where you have a special type of product and a product that doesn't have so much alternatives or other options to it, where you can tell customers ahead of time to say, okay, pay me ahead of time. But it's actually possible, assuming what type of product can you think about now? Okay, let's say even things like cars. I've seen people that buy cars for people and they use their money to buy the cars for them. But there must be some features you're giving them. One, you could use a price mechanism. Assuming that car normally goes for, let's say, 5 million. You can tell the customer to say, okay, I can get you this car at 4 million naira. But you have to pay me ahead. I have a contact in Europe. I have a contact in America that will ship the car to me. So it's possible the person will give you the money. In fact, I just remember now, one of the first businesses I did was actually done with customer funding. I think at the time when I just finished serving, and actually a customer, a friend introduced me to somebody who wanted to start a cyber cafe, and the man said he wanted me to set up. Of course, I didn't have money to set up. He actually gave me the money. I used to go and buy the computers and now come and set it up. So what was it? It was actually customer funding because he gave me the money. So actually, but what you do, you have to package the business in such a way that there are not options where the person or the options you're giving is better than what the person will get by paying and getting it immediately. Number 5 option is sale of tangible assets. You can actually sell your tangible assets like land, cars, houses, goods, shares, and the rest of them to fund your businesses. I always tell people that it doesn't make sense if you have a land and the land is growing fallow, or you have a house, it's not being used, or even have gold, it is in your boss, and you're looking for money to start your business. For me, I tell people, you don't get attached to any asset or anything. If you need to start a business and you have something, even if it's a land that you inherited from your father or grandfather, you can sell it and use to start business. What I tell people is that, provided the business you're putting into it is a business that is viable. Of course, if the business grows, you can buy back the car you sold or the house you sold to start your business. So you can sell what you have to start your business. It's actually a viable option. Number 6 option you can use to raise capital is crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is just a means of funding businesses or ventures through small amounts of money raised from many people. Today, it is done on technology platforms. There are technology platforms where you can submit your business idea. You submit your business idea. Now, based on how viable or how sweet that business idea sounds, people will agree to commit small amounts. So maybe you can raise, let's say, 1,000 naira from 1,000 people, that's 1 million. Or raise 10,000 naira from 1,000 people, that's 10 million. So you can raise small amounts from small people. There are actually different types of crowdfunding sites. There are crowdfunding sites that are done basically on what you could call non-reward basis. Most times, maybe not necessarily for business. You see it in an informal way, maybe where somebody has a challenge. You see sometimes somebody has a challenge, maybe kidney problem, and he's going for operation. You can actually use crowdfunding to raise the money, to say people, hey, contribute whatever you have, and you raise that money for the person. In that way, people are contributing it, they're not expecting reward. They're just doing it for good conscience sake. Now, you have some other ones where people contribute and expect to get their money back. But these things are set out at the beginning of the project or the beginning of the site. You say, okay, if you contribute 10,000, maybe after 1 year, you get 12,000. It's already settled. So it's a fixed form of stuff. You contribute maybe 100,000, you will get maybe 120,000 back or 110,000 back, depending on the agreement. Now there's another type where it could be that when you contribute, you get a part of the business. You can say, okay, if you contribute maybe 20,000, you get 1% of the business. If you contribute 100,000, you get 5% of the business, or something like that. So there are different conditions. So when you go to a crowdfunding site, you'll be able to check which option are you taking, and which option does your business fall into. But basically what we are saying is that you can raise business capital through crowdfunding. And there are sites which can help you do that today. There are so many of them. Example include CrowdRaise, Crowdfunder, Rocket Hub. There are a couple of them today. And recently I noticed that this is even traditional to us. You know, today technology has made it look very funky. Even in my village those days, they do crowdfunding, because there are some projects you want to do and they ask people to contribute small money. In fact, I can boldly say that the first electricity that came into my village was not done by government. It was done by people. They may not have called it crowdfunding, but looking at it today, I know that it's a crowdfunding effort, because every household contributed small amount. I can't remember, maybe even something less than 1,000 different. Everybody contributed and they put it together. That's actually crowdfunding. But the thing today is that it has been made into a takeaway where you can do it from the comfort of your house by just submitting your proposal on a site on the internet. Number 7 option to raise business capital: accelerators and incubators. Now, it has been observed that over the years, that most established funders, like banks and finance houses, will not fund businesses at their incubation stage. I've said it a couple of times. Why? Because these businesses at this stage have very high risk factors. But that doesn't remove the fact that there are also great potentials in some of these businesses at their incubation stages. I know if we have time now to, there's a way we get into the mind and brain of everybody here, even with our number, we find out that there are multi-million-dollar businesses in our heads. But because they're still in their incubation stages, they may actually not see the light of the day till they'll just go and rest in the burial grounds. Because those businesses will be there and they will not come up. Now, so some people have organized themselves as accelerators and incubators, specializing in funding businesses in their incubation stages. These are organizations that have decided to specialize on businesses at their incubation stages. So what they do is they encourage people to come up with ideas, share the ideas with them, and they review them. Now, pick out the ones they see as being very viable, and then they will be able to fund them for maybe a part of the business or for some other, or based on other conditions. In Nigeria, we have a couple of them. Some of them include the Co-Creation Hub. This is one of the popular ones in Nigeria. You have Idea Hub that is still in Lagos. Actually, Idea Hub is promoted by NIDA. NIDA is a government agency. You have Royal Nigeria Hub. This one is based in Enugu. It's actually in UNN. Now you have Focus Hub. Focus Hub is in Port Harcourt. You have Ventures Platform. Ventures Platform is in Abuja, in Maitama here. If you are, I think when we had the program there's a program we had last year at M&M Event Center. The guy that spoke with us, Kola, I know, is the promoter of Ventures Platform. Now you also have a Technology Development for Poverty Alleviation Initiative. This one is in Abuja, in Kuje. You have a Aspire Hub and a couple of other. These are just examples of them. What are we saying? These are organizations that specialize in taking businesses that are still at their incubation stage. Sometimes they do it for a part of it. You may have an agreement with them that if they fund this your idea, they will have some percentage of the business, maybe 10%, 20%, 5% based on your agreement. Number 8, business idea competitions. You can actually fund your business through some competitions available today. Most of them are based on how viable your business idea is. I'm sure we all know about You Win. You Win, it's actually on, but even though it's not very viable again, it was actually initiated by the last administration, the Goodluck Jonathan administration, where they were able to give some funding to people based on their business idea. So some people actually got their businesses funded by that initiative. You also have LifeWire. LifeWire, I think, is promoted by Shell. If I'm not mistaken, it's also a business competition where you can, if you win, your business idea will be sponsored or funded by these organizations. Another one is BET. BET is actually funded by Diamond Bank. BET is actually Building Entrepreneurs Today. And they do it annually. The 7th edition was done this year, so possibly by next year, the 8th edition will be done. So all you need to do is to look out for some of these, for the notices, put in your business idea, your business plan. If you win, you get some amount of money. And you also have a Tony Elumelu Foundation entrepreneurship program, which also funds businesses. Actually, Tony Elumelu funds businesses across Africa. I think about 1,000 businesses every year, and he has been doing it for a couple of years. These are just examples. There are a couple of other ones out there. What are we saying? These are options that you can use to fund your businesses. These ones can even fund businesses even from the idea stage. And one good thing about some of these ones is that most of this money come as grants. It doesn't come as loan, so you don't need to pay back. So it's actually a viable option. Number 9 option is investors. Another way you can fund your business is by attracting investors, people who invest into your business. There are different types of investors, but I want us to quickly look at 3 types of investors. The first one is angel investors. 2 is venture capitalists. 3 is private equity investors. Because of time, I'll just use a simple way to analyze them. The way they increase is the way they increase also in the type of business they fund. Angel investors most of the time can fund business either at the incubation stage or the startup stage. Angel investors most of the time, angel investor could be your uncle. Most of the time they are not so much structured. Any person who can invest in your business, it could be your brother, it could be your uncle, it could be a member of your fellowship, and the rest of them, who sees your idea and believes it's a worthwhile idea and invests in it. The number 2 is venture capitalists. Venture capitalists are more structured. People who put money into startups. Most times, venture capitalists will not fund businesses at their incubation stage. Most of the time, they fund businesses in their startup stage and in their growth stage. Now you have private equity investors. Private equity investors are more established. Most of them, they go for businesses in their growth stage or businesses in their mature stage. That's why I decided to go through those stages so that you understand where your business is and know how to take your business from one level or the other. Some businesses have received funding from some of these investors, include businesses like Konga, Jumia, Iroko Partners, and the rest of them. Some of them have received businesses from venture capitalists and private equity investors over the years. I still continue to hammer on something. Most times, that's why sometimes you need to use bootstrapping or personal savings, money from family and friends to move your business from the incubation to the startup and possibly to the growth stage. Now, at the growth stage, it's easier to get these people to come in. That is what happened with a couple of these businesses. Even a business like Facebook got angel investments into them for them to grow to where they are today. Number 10, you have foundations. There are some foundations that give money for businesses. Some of them include, we have already mentioned Tony Elumelu Foundation. You have Bill and Melinda Gates. You have Chan Zuckerberg Initiative. You have Sister and a couple of other foundations. There's one of my friends who owns a Simple Pay. He actually got an investment from Sister World in 2014. So what are we saying? There are foundations that can actually fund your business. Number 11 is development funds or development banks. Now, we all are conversant with commercial banks, and we also know some of the challenges we face when we try to raise money from commercial banks. But there are development banks like African Development Bank, African Women Development Fund, International Finance Organization, World Bank, and the rest of them. At the moment, I think even Nigeria is trying to start a development bank. Now, some of these banks try to cater for needs of entrepreneurs. So some of the areas where the commercial banks may not be able to fund you, you may get these banks more willing to fund you, because sometimes they are not set up primarily for profit motive. You know, the commercial banks are people's businesses and are essentially there to make profit. But when you have some of these development banks, their main objective is to encourage entrepreneurs. So even where commercial banks may not be willing to fund. Some of these development banks may be willing to fund you. So if you have a good business idea, sometimes you may need to look beyond the Diamond Bank, Zenith Bank, First Bank, and other commercial banks, and look at development banks like African Development Bank, like Bank of Industry, Bank of Agriculture, and the rest of them. And then I think he has not kickstarted, but even Nigeria is trying to start up a purely development bank. Another option you can use to raise capital for your business is government grants. Now, even as we speak, there's a whole lot of government grants that are available. Yeah, a number of times we have these complaints that are difficult. But what I always tell people is that the thing is that there are conditions these people have set up for these funds to be made available. They may be difficult, but if you settle down and study it, you will get it, because the truth is people still access these funds and get them. So if you make up your mind that it's possible, you will actually be able to get them. So some of the government agencies in Nigeria that have grants and loans available include Bank of Industry, Bank of Agriculture, National Development Bank, etc. You also have there's an arm of CBN which specializes in funding agricultural bank. They call it NISSAL, Nigerian Incentive Risk-Based Sharing System for Agricultural Lending. Their office is actually in Maitama near CAC. They specialize in funding agri-related businesses. You have also Smiden. Even though Smiden does not give funding, but sometimes Smiden helps in facilitating getting funding from these government agencies. And you have presently you have Market Money. I think it's a fund available in Bank of Industry. So you can explore more of these options. One thing I know is that it's possible, people are doing it. So if you are serious about raising funds, you can actually explore some of these options. Another option for raising funding is plowing back your profits, especially for growing your business. When you have started your business is in growth stage. Now you may, instead of looking forward to getting loans from banks or from other agencies, you can decide to be putting back your profits into your business. But there's something I've noticed. One strategy that can help anybody grow, any business grow, is to use this strategy of invest, save, and spend. What does it basically mean? You first of all invest. Anytime you get money, either from your business or if you're working as a salary, first of all invest, now save, and now spend. That means, if possible, invest the chunk of it. That means even if you get profit, maybe you do business, from your business this month you make a profit of 100,000, invest back part of it, maybe say 80,000 back. Save maybe part of it, maybe say 10,000, and now spend 10,000. The thing is, the higher the percentage you decide to allocate to investment, you can decide to do 80, 10, 10, or you can decide to do 50, 25, 25, or you can decide to do whatever option you use. But what I tell you is, the higher option you put into investment, that you put back into your business, the faster your business will grow. I decided to use the illustration of the chicken and the eggs. One day I was driving and this idea came to me. I was thinking about it to say, imagine a farmer that has just one hen, and that hen lays 10 eggs, and he decides to allow the hen to hatch the 10 eggs, against deciding to eat 5 of the eggs and allowing the hen to hatch 5. Against another option of deciding to eat the 10 eggs, knowing that the hen will certainly lay more eggs. These are 3 different sets of people. I'll just take it again. A man has a hen and the hen lays 10 eggs. One of them decides to allow the hen hatch the 10 eggs. The other one decides to eat 5, because he has been waiting for this hen to start laying eggs. And now he has laid 10 eggs. He decided to eat 5 and allow it to hatch 5. The other one says, wow, life is good and nobody knows tomorrow, and decides to eat the 10 of them because the hen will certainly lay more eggs. Which of them do you think that his poultry business will increase faster? Which one? Surely the first one. But do you know the truth about it is that most of us belong to the last group. In fact, I used to belong to that last group. Why? Because you get money, you earn money, especially people who are salaried people, you earn money. Because you know that another money will come, you spend the whole of it. Even if it's 10,000 naira you earn, if you earn 10,000 naira and you spend the whole of 10,000 naira, because you know that next month they'll pay you another 10,000 naira, you actually belong to that last group that his hen laid 10 eggs and he decides to eat the 10 of them, knowing that the hen will lay again. But surprisingly, one day the hen may not lay eggs again. But you find out that if you decide to do what they call delayed gratification and not eat any of the egg and allow the hen to hatch the 10, in a matter of time, you will be able to eat 10 eggs without blinking your eyes. Because the 10 would have hatched 10, maybe that 10 will grow up. At the time, you may have like 10 eggs. So you can even decide to one day call your friends and not even eat only the egg and even eat some of the chicken. Do you understand? But when you allow it to be that just one hen, and anyone he lays, you eat. Anyone he lays, you eat. But friends, surprisingly, that is where most people fall into, especially salaried people. Because every salary you get, you finish it because you know that another one will come. And what will happen, the day there is a threat of the job going, you get depressed. Because you have not allowed any of the eggs to hatch. But if you have been able to take some of that money you earn and invest it in another thing, what will happen is that even the day your job is threatened, you are not threatened. Just like the day the mother hen is sick, you're not afraid because this mother hen has produced maybe another 20 hen that are laying eggs. In fact, you yourself, you can even decide on your bad day and decide to kill that mother hen yourself. Do you understand? Because it has produced other ones. So what are we saying? Use this strategy of invest, save before you spend. I think we have discussed this before, raising money through your assets, but it's actually a vital option. But I will just want to say something quickly again about it. A number of times we invest in assets that are not beneficial to us, depending on who you are and what is your target. If you're actually somebody, a young man who desires to build a business, there's some type of thing you should not invest in. There's no need investing in a watch of 100,000 naira. In fact, even if somebody dashes you the watch, sell it. Because that same watch of 100,000 naira will give the same time the one of 3,000 naira will give. The only thing is, some of your friends may see you and say, hey, he has arrived, he's a big boy now. He's wearing a Gucci watch. Is there Gucci watch? There's Gucci watch. Or he's wearing a Rolex watch. He has arrived. No? Or you go and buy, as a young man, you go and buy Mercedes E-Class. Nothing wrong, but it is wrong when you use all your money. Assuming all the money you have saved can just buy a car. Yeah, mobility is important, but why not go and buy a Honda or a Corolla instead of going to buy a Mercedes Jeep? That is an asset that is not yielding to you. But what I notice is most of the time it's our mindset. You know the problem, a number of times we want to make people feel we have arrived when we have not arrived. We want people to see that we are big when we are not big. You know what I've noticed in life? Don't bother about showing that you're big. When you become big, you don't need to show it. So don't invest in assets, in a suit, in jewelry, in cars, in things that will not, all those assets in quotes that are more of liabilities. Use those assets and invest into your business if you already have a business, or if you don't have a business, use those assets and start up a business that will yield profit to you. At a time, you'll be able to conveniently provide those things without it affecting you. When we try to round up, I just want to share one thing, a secret to attracting funding. Earlier we talked about foundations, but now we want to talk about the secrets. The secret, funny enough, is simple. What is the secret to attracting funding? The secret to attracting funding is knowing the mindset of the funder. Is knowing the objective of the funder. It's just like my entering into this hall, and I have this water. And as I'm entering this water hall, I want to give this water to somebody. Before I enter, I've already made up my mind who I will give the water. Either the person who is wearing suit or the person who is wearing traditional or something. So the one way you can get it from me is to know who I want to give it to. Now, there are funders, and most of the funders have different objectives for giving out their money. So one critical secret to attracting that funding is knowing what their objective is. In fact, I've noticed that life is actually a matter of exchange. Most times, if you want something, you have to give something. It may be something tangible, it may be something that is not tangible. Now, when you want funding, you must be able to give something back. But there has to be something that the funder wants. Let me just give you an example. Now, we have Bill and Melinda Gates, a foundation that actually gives out money to people. But their objective is not to make profit from those money they give. So assuming you approach them today with your beautiful business plan and tell them to say, okay, see, when this business moves, I'll be able to pay you 5% of the money. It will not move there. Even if you tell them you're going to pay them 20%, Bill and Melinda Gates has millions of dollars in funding. They're looking for who to give it to. The objective is not to make more money, but they have also objective. So you need to understand the objective. Part of the objective is to eradicate some diseases like malaria, polio. So if you have a business idea today that can eradicate malaria, now if you present that to them, the chances of getting funding will be higher. Why? Because you know what they want. They want to eradicate malaria. And your business can eradicate malaria. And you present it. So you see, because you know what they want, you'll be able to get their funding. I don't know if it makes sense. But if you go to a commercial bank today and tell them to say, you see, this business I have, it will eradicate polio. Even though the profit, you can't show any evidence that there's so much profit. But he said, see, if this business goes live, nobody will have malaria again in Nigeria. It will be like you're speaking in tongues. Because their objective is not to eradicate malaria. Their objective is a business that will make profit and be able to pay them back their principal plus the interest. So if you are going to a commercial bank, you should be able to present a business idea that can pay back the principal and the interest. Because that is the objective, they want to make money. Now, there's somebody you may go, if you are meeting a philanthropist, you should be able to appeal to his sense. He wants to give you the money to show that he's a philanthropist. So, however you're going to go show the money, it has to be that you're a philanthropist. To show him as a philanthropist. I don't know if you get it. So, the secret is that person you're approaching, understand his objective. Now, some government objectives, some government funding, their objective is to reduce unemployment. Like it was part of the objective of You Win. So if you're presenting a business idea that has the capacity to employ 100 people, even though if the business is making only 100,000 as profit, they will rate it higher than a business that's going to employ only one person and make 1 million, because part of the objective was to attack unemployment. So what is the secret? Try to understand the mind of the founder and be able to meet that objective. In rounding up, let's quickly look at some do's and don'ts of attracting business capital. I'll quickly take the don'ts. 1, desperation. When you are looking for funding, never appear desperate. If you are desperate, people will run away from you. 2, lack of preparation. If you are not prepared, nobody will be willing to give their money to you. 3, win or lose mentality. If you have a win or lose mentality, it will not help you. 4, being unreasonable in your funding. Even if it's your uncle, you meet your uncle, you have to weigh your uncle. Maybe you are saying, okay, yeah, this uncle is whatever. You say, oh, uncle, give me 20 million naira. Depending on how much he has, do you understand? He may not. So be reasonable in the money you're asking for. Don't depend on luck. See, friends, it's not based on luck. Do your homework. Prepare. Make the figures realistic. Make it add up. Don't lose focus of your business. Do you understand? Don't wake up every day and all you do is write business proposal, business plan, and all these things and whatever. Remember when we say the more traction your business gains, the more it can attract funding. So if you just focus and lose track of your business, you will lose it. Now, the things that will help you. Be patient. It's a marathon. Be patient while seeking for funding. Be prepared. Have the right mentality. Be reasonable on how much you need. Research the conditions. Remember we said you need to know the mindset of the funder. Focus on your business. The more traction your business gains, the more attractive your business becomes. In conclusion, funding for business is not scarce. It is the know-how to access available funding that is scarce. There are billions of dollars available for capable and prepared entrepreneurs. The right business idea and the right business vision attracts real funding. So start today. It is possible, it is doable. Some people have done it before. That business, even if it's still in the incubation stage, even if it's still an idea in your mind, it could be the next big thing in the world. Your business could become a global business in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years. Even though it's just an idea, tomorrow it could be a global business. The big businesses we talk about today, from Apple to Facebook to Microsoft to Oracle, all started as ideas in some people's minds. So the big businesses in the next 10 years could be that business in your mind today. So start off today. Don't wait